my dear students. I have come up with another video where we'll discuss about child-centered education. Child-centered education is a wide concept. So this is the first video of the series of video which will help you to understand different activities or different aspects of child-centered education. Let's carry forward. Let's start with what is child-centered education? Child-centered education is kind of a revolt against subject-centered education. Child-centered education seeks to provide natural flow of activity and spontaneous growth of the child. So the child learns through the natural flow of activity, and he also grows spontaneously using those activities. The child enjoys the complete freedom of the subject, where no one interferes and no one gives him conditions related to what to do and how to do it. So he learns on his own with more amount of freedom. So due to what happens, that there is a good development of mind, body and spirit of the child, and which is reflected through the actions of the child. And it also emphasis on the all the kids' sensory and natural development. Who are the people who have propounded it or who have proposed it? Great philosophers and educationalists like Rousseau, Tagore, Montessori, Maria Montessori. They have emphasis on child-centered learning or education from time to time, and they always advocated that the child should be allowed to learn from the nature in his own natural way without any interference from the adults. The history of child-centered education begins from 20th century, from the constructivist idea which is being put forth by John Dewey, Jean Piaget, Lev Vygotsky and Maria Montessori. It also gives an environment, or it develops an environment which is very open, dynamic, trusting, respectful. So the child become more open, can think of dynamic activities, and they start trusting their own ability and become respectful for themselves as well as others. Also, it promotes the natural. What are the different principles of child-centered education, based on which the entire child-centered education has been built on? The first principle is play and curiosity. Play is the center from which the child learns how to get along with one another, to know themselves, to learn about the world around them. Learning through play and being curious is the innate quality of the child. So they learn from their innate quality and they don't have to make extra effort. So naturally they learn a lot of things. And due to no imposition from outside, the nature of curiosity, the curious nature of the child is continued and it does not being curbed off. So what happened? The child becomes a complete human where he has all the essential qualities of solving his own problem. The child also learns about their own ability while playing. They understand their abilities, they understand their passions and also skills by questioning, problem solving and independent thinking. The child becomes innovator. He keeps on innovating few things which makes his work easy and enhances his ability, supports his or her passion. So he becomes an innovator. He keeps on innovating. Also, to do so, he needs to think creatively. So it enhances his creative thinking as well. The child keeps on understanding himself better, and through understanding of himself better, he learns the different qualities. He nurtures the different qualities which helps him to become more and more complete human. The whole child means the entire child is being considered, and the child learns from all his sense organs. He uses all his sense organs to discover, to explore things, and also understand the things. So all his motor processes are involved into that, as well as his thought processes are also involved into that. So the learning becomes a complete part, and through this complete way he understands himself better, he understands outside better, and he improves in each and every skills which are required to become more and more successful in life. So the child learns to become smart in different ways: emotionally, intellectually, physically, artistically, and many more ways. The child becomes a whole, and he learns with a whole mind as well as senses. The child also understands and learns what kind of choices and he has to make, and he becomes empowered, and he becomes responsible to make his own choices. So whenever he is making his own choices, he evaluates the consequences which may happen, which may come up due to his choices. So he judges the consequences. Based on that, he learns or makes his own choices, and he become more and more empowered in that way. The next principle is empathy, caring, and mutual trust. The child learns best when the child and the teacher are respected, trusted, and treated in a positive way. So the child learns different kind of life skills during child-centered education. They learn to be empathetic. They learn to be caring for their team members. They learn that with mutual trust only we can go ahead. So they always keep on understanding the individual with whom they are working. They emotionally and interpersonally understand the other person, and they develop different kind of life skills which help them to. The next principle of child-centered education is the child learns to take responsible risk. When the child knows that what kind of choices I have to make and what kind of consequences it is, he also understands that how much risk I can take or not. If he feels that the risk is too much, he may not go about it. But if he feels that okay, I can take this risk, he can take. Also, the child learns that each and every failure or mistake which he commits during his activity will teach him something. In that case, he does not look before or think before taking risks. So he goes about it without the fear of failure, and he knows that if I fail also, I will learn something. For him, the learning becomes more important, and the fear of failure becomes uh, becomes nothing. And he also understands that failure is a powerful learning tool through which he understands and he learns different aspects. So he keeps on taking responsible risks. The child gets a lot of time for solitude, reflection, and curiosity or sense of wonder. The child keeps on divulging on his own thoughts, where he reflects that what kind of action I have taken and what kind of reactions I have got, and he reflect on that. He learns from it. For that he require a quiet mind and a quiet environment, which gives him more understanding related to his works. So as he keeps on reflecting on his own activity as well as others, and he discusses with others related to his own reflection, and does not fear even to listen to others, he learns a lot of things. He learns to be more creative. He learns to have different idea. He learns to respect the ideas of other, and due to which he becomes more and more involved in the world around, and becomes a integral part of the society. The next principle says that the child, when they are into child-centered education, they understand, or they create the depth and richness of idea and respect for others. So they learn from a group of different ages, and the group which is heterogeneous, and they respect them, they trust them. There is mutual respect and trust and caring, and they cherish the individuality of each and everybody, due to which they are it becomes very easy to for inclusion. It becomes very easy. No one feels left out. It becomes very easy for each and everybody to be included into the group. And also there is a mutual respect for the diversity which exists in the group or with the in the society, and the child starts keeping a very broad mind related to that. Child also learns to go for collaborative learning. They uh, they know how to work together. Also the sense that we cannot achieve each and everything individually, we have to take help from others. That sense has come in the child, so they keep on respecting the other and developing the sense of working with other in collaboration, in cooperation. The child learns many things from each other by sharing and caring, due to which, and when the child is spending more time in outdoors doing their activity, they develop a very good relationship with the natural world. They develop a respect for the environment, and they keep on appreciating what the nature has given to us. So they become the integral part of the wider environment. They become an inseparable part of the environment, and they keep on respecting the environment and also treating it very carefully, and definitely conserving the natural world, which becomes a part or a healthiest part of the child. So these are all the principles of child-centered education. Let's move on. Let's see about the characteristics of the child-centered education. The first characteristic of the child-centered education is freedom. Yes, the child gets a lot of freedom while they are into child-centered education. So this freedom makes them a complete individual. This freedom gives them a very much responsible attitude towards other, as well as towards themselves, as well as towards the society. So they learn to become more responsible due to the freedom given to them, and from their own way they learn and they construct their own knowledge. So the knowledge become more perfect, more impactful and more long standing. The child always involved into self activity where he develops different kind of interest from his curiosity. He learns that how I can achieve certain things, how I can motivate myself. So he devise or he start designing his own activities related to his own curiosity, which he wants to know, which he wants to uh, support according to his or her interest. So he started designing and devising his own self activities. The child also develop in a simultaneously, because the child experience a lot of things during his education, and all his sense organs are involved in that time. And when all the sense organs are involved, they learn from all the aspects, emotional, mental. So what is the benefit of child centered education? Child centered education's first benefit is healthier lifestyle. As the child is developing as a complete individual, he is using all his sense organ, and he is learning through his through involving all his sense organ. He learns. He becomes a complete individual where he understand himself very well. And when he understand himself very well, definitely he adapts to healthier lifestyle. He knew that what kind of he understand that what kind of things make him healthier, both physically and mentally, and he follows that lifestyle. So that becomes a very important benefit for the child, that they become more independent, they respect each other, and they follow the healthier lifestyle, which makes them even more happier in life. The child does a lot of experimentation. He is never fear, he does not have fear of failure. He knows that if I fail, then also I'm going to learn something. So he always keeps on experimenting with the things, never stops experimenting, always keeps on doing certain things which he or she loves, and that experimentation makes them even more free and complete individual. Also, they start respecting the diversity around them. They start acknowledging the diversity. They also accept any any difference they are having in themselves, and they start respecting themselves. So they respect themselves, also they respect the others who are having different kind of attitude towards life, or different kind of um, they are not similar to him. So he starts respecting all the people, and he starts also learning from them. The child learns to socialize and network. So when he is doing the activity, when he is devising the activity, he learns that many of things he cannot do alone. So he does not become a loner, he start socializing, he start working with others, and he understand what is the importance of others in our life, and what is the importance of communication in our life, and through which he keeps on socializing and he keeps on networking with others, so that he learns, and his interpersonal relationships always keeps on growing. And also, when the child is pursuing his passion, he always come up with different idea, and he always tries to develop different things, and his curiosity is always there. So what happened, the child becomes more involved into whatever he does, and because of this excessive involvement in his work, he becomes more successful in whatever he does, because he is following his own passion, he is doing his own work, what he actually. The The next benefit is the child becomes critical thinker. The child thinks critically because he has to think the ways how he can satisfy his own curiosity. So he keeps on thinking that in which way I can accomplish my curiosity. So that makes him a critical thinker, and he always tries to understand from each and every aspect, maybe from the success as well as from his failure, through reflection, that what kind of things are important, and he analyzes it very well logically. So the child becomes more and more critical thinker. Also, as the responsibility is more on the child in student centered or child centered education, the child develops a better sense of discipline. As because they become more responsible, so with the responsibility, with the great sense of responsibility, great sense of discipline also comes. So that goes hand in hand. When they become, the child become responsible, and due to which they become more disciplined in each and every aspect of their lives. Also, student centered education or child centered education promotes equality and empowerment. Each and every individual is treated as equal, and they do whatever they want to do to fulfill their own curiosity, and child feels empowered from within. They don't feel shattered because no one is there to stop their curiosity or curb their passion. No one says, no one imposes their thoughts on them. They can work on their own, they can work on their passion, so they feel more empowered. Also, it promotes good citizenship and civic involvement, because a child becomes very responsible. He understands the need of other people in their life. They become very good citizens of the country and of the globe. And also, they keep on working for the society whenever they are being asked. Also, it reduces gender biasness, because when they are studying in a group, in a team, there is a mutual respect which grows, and it is irrespective of any gender. So it reduces all kind of gender biasness. Let's see about the disadvantages of child-centered education. The first disadvantage is it takes a longer time for student. So when the student is trying to figure out his curiosity, his own ways of studying, how to involve all his activity, what kind of things he loves, he spends a lot of time in it. And also he has to think or reflect related to his own actions, his own choices, and also he has to think about the risk he is going to take, and also the consequences of whatever he is doing. So it takes a longer time for a student to process the entire work of the education. It is definitely a very big challenge in the child-centered education. Also, it takes long time for teacher. The teacher here is the guide, facilitator, mentor, and he acts in a multitasker way. So the teacher, even for the planning and for the initial work before the class starts, he has to plan meticulously, and which takes a lot of time. He has to think about, the teacher has to think about what is the need of my student, and how am I going to fulfill each and everyone's need. And he has to think about it, he has to work on it, he has to plan each and everything, and also he has to always keep a tab that which child's need is of which nature, and how as a teacher I am going to cater it. So he has to spend a lot of time, not only in the classroom while doing the activities or while doing the work, while teaching, but he has to also give a lot of time in planning. The next disadvantage is special skills of teachers. Yes, the teachers, apart from teaching skills, needs a wide variety of skills. They have to be very good planner, they have to be very good organizer, they should have managerial skill, mentoring skill, counseling skills. So there are different kind of skills which are required for the teachers, so that they can conduct a child centered classroom. So it becomes very difficult for the teacher when they are subjected to a lot of students in the classrooms, a large number of students in the classroom, and to think about them and to do all the work for all each and every student. Also, child-centered education depends largely on the nature of student. It is not necessary that if one method is used in one area can be equally successful in other area. It may fail or it may succeed in the other area because it depends on the nature of student, how the students are and what kind of things they are. I hope all of you have understood what is child-centered education is. In my next video, I'll come up with the other aspects of child-centered education. Till then, keep watching. Thank you.